Sorry, Takahiro-kun. And those clenched fists flew into the air. I calmly closed my eyes.
Takahiro? What the hell was that all about? What the hell are you even saying? Have you gone completely insane?
I feel a heavy impact on the back of my head, and a pain that spreads from my cheek to my mouth. A warm, metallic taste spreads to the depths of my nose and my throat. I'm sorry.
Shut your mouth! Sis, what are you going to do about Sis? Weren't you together ever since high school? Weren't you engaged? Weren't you supposed to become my brother-in-law?
Takahiro-kun.
Give them back! Give back those 5 years you stole from her! Those 5 years you completely ruined, Kirahara! Stop it! Takahiro! Please, stop it already! Dear, please! And where is Haruki-kun now? Where is Haruki-kun?
He just left. Less than 5 minutes ago. Stop right there, Setsuna! It's too late. I won't allow you to go outside right now.
You must be joking! After all the terrible things you guys did to Haruki-kun? Ganging up on him and causing him so much pain? Setsuna, I hate you! I hate you all! I loathe you! Sis! Everyone tries to go after Haruki-kun. Everyone tries to push him away from me. I hate you all!
Ow! My burning hot cheeks are grazed by the cold wind, and the pain I was numb to finally makes itself known. I still have tunnel vision. The blood from the cut in my mouth mixes with the blood from my nose, and a horrible taste envelops my tongue. Yet, I was oblivious to the pain from all these wounds up until a short while ago. Stop it! Stop it, Takahiro! Did you not hear me when I told you to stop? I won't allow you to act violently towards someone else. He's someone who has nothing to do with our family. Kirahara-kun, I'm sorry for my son's horrible behavior. Please forgive us. If you have to go to the hospital because of this, I'll take responsibility for all the expenses needed. I'm truly sorry. And please, do me this favor. I'm aware that it's rude considering I was the one who called you here, but don't come here ever again. I'm sorry. Her father's words, her mother's crying, and her brother's relentless fists. Those actions that reinforce the fact that they love their family. The realization of that hurts, because it felt like my heart was going to be torn in two.
Good. I made it in time.
And for a second time, my physical pain is chased away by sheer emotional pain. Setsuna, why?
It's a shortcut around here. One only the residents here know about. A narrow back alley.
Even though she was completely out of breath, Setsuna continued to explain, yet her explanation wasn't the reason she chased me, only the reason she caught up with me.
This will feel a bit cold, but try to bear it.
Setsuna took out a handkerchief and wetted it by a nearby water fountain. Just like she said, even my burning cheeks felt like they were going to freeze over. Yet, I couldn't feel sorry for myself, because I felt at the same time the coldness in Setsuna's hands as she gripped the handkerchief.
I'm sorry. Takahiro really did something stupid.
There's no reason for you to apologize, Setsuna. And Takahiro-kun isn't in the wrong either.
No, he is in the wrong. Hurting you like this. Even though they know you're the most important person to me, they're also cruel.
Setsuna, the cruel one here is me. Yet, even now, Setsuna is still defending me. Her true feelings, her escape from reality, and her numerous misunderstandings blended together, and her feelings for me have become stronger than before. Almost like me, she's making enemies of everyone around her.
This might sting a bit. Try to bear it one more time, okay?
You really don't have to.
Hey, don't move. You're not a little kid, so you can bear it.
Setsuna didn't allow me to speak about what happened. When she appeared in front of me, she was holding a first aid box in both hands. A big box with every possible necessity. The fact that I came over, that I spoke to her parents, and that I got myself injured, overwhelmed with so many truths that disturbed her heart. Setsuna threw all her thoughts away and instead chose to come running with this heavy box.
I'm sorry.
Her rash behavior, her adorableness, and the lovable way she's harboring these assumptions as she heals the wounds on my cheeks. And with them, I can feel a bit of pain, coldness, and a never-ending warmth.
Okay, that should do it. Good job.
After finally applying some gauze around my mouth and sticking it in places with tape, Setsuna puts the materials back in the first aid box, all with a composed expression, all while we're in an atmosphere that's no different to how things used to be. It's almost as if nothing had happened, almost as if the two of us were back to our old selves.
Is it a little hard for you to speak? Could you try saying something?
Stop taking my side already.
I didn't ask you to talk about that. A single word would have been enough. I just wanted to make sure the tape wouldn't peel off.
Yet, all that was a front that could be broken apart with a single word. Don't reach out to those in the wrong. You've hurt yourself enough.
I'm the one who gets to decide that. It's not something you get a say in, Haruki-kun.
Yet, that stubbornness. The first time I realized that Setsuna would never admit any fault in me was back then.
The three of us can be together. I just want the three of us to stay together forever. I didn't want to be left out by those I cared about. No, I want the three of us to be together. So, nothing's actually over between us. Let's go, Haruki-kun. The three of us aren't finished yet.
Right now, we're sharing the memories about the same place and the same time. But that is not a coincidence. Because the situation back then and right now are far too similar to each other.
That's right. Because that's precisely what I've always wanted since the beginning.
Setsuna.
Let's go back to when it was just Kazusa, you, and me. Let's go back to that day before the school festival.
5 years have passed, yet Setsuna is still the same.
Kazusa went away because of me, so I thought I could never see it come to fruition.
She decides that everything is her own fault and comes up with these contrived reasons to show why I'm faultless.
That's why I thought I could replace it with a different kind of happiness, with just the two of us. I believed we could live together, always putting herself in the worst position.
Always putting herself in the worst position.
But if that's not possible, no, that's not it. I'm not sad that it's not possible. I don't feel regret.
However,
because all we have to do is wrap ourselves in the happiness that's even greater than what we had 5 years ago.
However, Setsuna.
So please, Haruki-kun, let me join you too. Don't leave me out of your company.
This time alone. You can't.
Why?
Because I love Setsuna too much to keep the balance even between the three of us. No one would accept that kind of relationship. No one has to accept us. As long as the three of us are happy, I don't need anything else. Even so, if I were to force myself to accept the three of us being together, I won't be able to return to just the two of us ever again. And that goes for both Kazusa and Setsuna. You can't. Out of all people, you shouldn't be saying that, Setsuna. I'd only end up making the two people I care about more than anyone else in the world completely miserable, chaining them to myself in a limbo where I'm closely tied to both of them, yet also indecisive at the same time.
I'll say it. Let me say it. After all, I love both you and Kazusa. And this is finally our chance for us three to get back together.
I'm going to Vienna, so we can't be together anymore. So I'll have to make the choice. The future without Setsuna. Even if it means I have to use different means. I cannot involve Setsuna in a future without light at the end of the tunnel.
You're going with Kazusa?
Yeah, Setsuna slowly puts her fingers on my shoulder. If she embraced me or kissed me, I wouldn't have the strength to push her away. She doesn't get any closer than that. Even now, she's trying her best not to cause me more trouble. Or rather...
Then I'm going with. I'm going to Vienna with you.
Setsuna! She's giving me up to Kazusa.
From now on, I'll be with you, Haruki-kun. And Kazusa too. It's okay. I promise I won't be a burden to you.
Without questioning how unreasonable Kazusa and I are being, she brings back all the guilt she was supposed to have thrown away 2 years ago. You can't. Why? If everything is her responsibility, then everything will be solved if she merely changes herself. Those are the nightmarish delusions she is trying to convince herself of. Because you have a family. You have Io and Yanagihara. You have so many others you have bonds with. I don't need any of them! Even as I'm making a choice that will bring happiness to no one, she's denying it with a choice with an even more miserable outcome.
Family, friends, my job. As long as I have you two, I don't need any of it.
Of course you do. There's just no way you'd be able to endure such a thing. If she makes such a depraved decision, she'll inevitably get hurt. After all, Setsuna just isn't the kind of person who can live without interacting with others around her. She's the kind of person who asks for help and helps others. The kind who supports others in their time of need and lets others help her with her own weakness. Setsuna is, rather, most people are like that. Setsuna is the kind of person who can firmly plant her roots in this world, just like a normal person does. That's why, if she becomes uprooted from the earth, she'll be separated from the world and wither away. Moreover, it's not just about you, it's about Kazusa too.
I'll fix all my shortcomings. I'll do my best without pushing it too hard. I'll have a proper talk with Kazusa. So please, please, please.
You can't. Because even if you try your hardest, Kazusa can't.
I won't steal you anymore. I won't take you away from Kazusa anymore.
No, that's not it, Setsuna. Kazusa still loves you too. She has always loved you. But this is different. The three of us that you're thinking of is not the same as the one Kazusa is thinking of. What you want is a three of us that exists in a broader world. A group surrounded by warmth and kindness, and sometimes sternness from loved ones. A vast and proper way of life. But that's not what Kazusa sees. No matter how much she tried to broaden her horizons throughout these 5 years, it never worked out. The only places where she belonged was with Yoko-san and within her memories. The piano introduced Kazusa to a broader world, but it couldn't provide her with that world. It's because she rejected it. Setsuna is a tree that plants roots. Then Kazusa is a tumbleweed. It's just not possible for her to extend her roots and live firmly. She must find water to sustain herself little by little as she goes, separated both from the ground and the world. only me. The only one she needs is me. It's not a matter of whether I love her or not. As someone who has lived in contact with the broad horizons of the world up until now, and as someone who can live without that world, I alone can be the water she needs. That's all there is to it. Setsuna, you should just forget about me. But there is no way Setsuna would understand, even if I did tell her. And I'll forget about you too. So all I can tell her are these words of farewell. I'm going with Kazusa. I'm going together with Kazusa. I'm going with Kazusa. There is no longer anyone but us two. I'll start living in a world for Kazusa alone. If it means protecting Kazusa, I might be the only one coming into contact with the world. But I won't bring that world with me back to Kazusa. I won't waver anymore. No one can enter the world for Kazusa and me. What are you doing here? What time do you think it is? I don't remember if it was me or Setsuna who left first. I don't even remember which road I used to return here. Yet, before I knew it, I was in front of my apartment. And late in the night, well after midnight, someone was waiting for me at the freezing entranceway.
Your face.
Answer my question first. Take turns. It was Kazusa who was waiting for me outside the door, breathing warm air into her world-famous hands.
I was waiting in the apartment, but you wouldn't come home. And when I called you, you weren't answering.
I turned it off, sorry.
So I went outside for a bit to see if I could pick you up at the station. But then I was worried I might have missed you on the way. So I rushed back. When I saw you still weren't back, I decided to sulk in bed, but I couldn't fall asleep. So I went back to waiting.
And then?
Then that cycle repeated itself about 5 times.
If you have that much free time on your hands, then just go to sleep. Your concert is only a week away. What an idiot. How counterproductive can she be?
Yeah, but you were taking turns. What happened to your face, Haruki?
All right. You want a drink of this? I bought it in the convenience store just earlier.
Avoiding the question, are we?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Tell me, what happened? You're injured and you're carrying a bottle of wine.
I considered drinking it on the way home, but I remembered I hadn't fed you yet.
What time do you think it is?
But that part of her dragged me a little bit from the pit of despair.
You went out and got yourself hurt again without telling me, didn't you? And not just your face, but your heart too.
I don't know what you're talking about. She shouldn't do this. Providing relief to the person who deserves nothing but condemnation.
Don't go and make things harder for yourself without telling me. You don't belong to yourself anymore.
You mean to say that my body doesn't belong to only myself anymore? don't neglect the important parts.
It's the same thing. You're mine now.
Kazusa, I'm sure Setsuna is breaking into tears right now, and I've caused the smiles of the Ogiso family to disappear. Everything is my fault, yet I'm the one being comforted.
Like always, you make things harder for everyone, not just for other people, because you don't even hold back against yourself. That makes you the biggest bully there is.
If you think I'm hurt, shouldn't you console me with a bit more kindness? But because you keep clinging on to me, I can't help finding solace in you.
Oh? What course would you like?
Well, the one where you hug me softly without saying a word. I can't help trying to obtain what I'm not allowed to desire.
If you let me, I won't go easy on you.
I'll end up showing cracks in my resolve.
I'll hug you with all my heart. I'll kiss you with such fervor that I won't be able to stop until we've gone all the way, you know?
That's not what gentle consoling means.
I'll make you forget about everything, you know?
That's what guys are supposed to say.
The rest is up to you. Until you give me the go-ahead, I'll sit obediently and wag my tail for you. I'll keep waiting while anxiously thinking about when you'll come back for me.
I think I heard her purr for a second. Perhaps she was sensitive to that crack in my resolve, so that at the first sight of it, a switch went off inside her. Her lust for me, her desire to save me. Those two intense desires that exist within Kazusa. Kazusa,
Just kidding. Like you'd have the guts to do that.
Yet Kazusa represses those feelings.
You have no guts, but you're strong. You don't have the slightest need for my kindness.
That's not...
Well, I'll be waiting. If you ever feel like you want me, just say the word. I'll never reject you again.
But as I thought, she's showing such restraint for my sake. Her way of showing that she prioritizes my feelings over anything else. No matter what Kazusa does, it's always about me, me, me. There may no longer be a person by the name of Toma Kazusa who doesn't live under my shadow.
Anyway, come in. Not like it's my apartment or anything, though.
Then
Haruki, are you sure?
For some reason, she tried to make sure. The moment we entered the apartment, I hugged her from behind so tightly she couldn't move. Yet, she was the one who asked if it was okay.
Will you be able to hold back? Will you be able to forgive yourself?
To most people, her question wouldn't make any sense, because it looks like I'm about to take her by force. Yet, her only worry is for me. Kazusa, that innocence once again permeates my brain, and little by little, the pain in my heart goes numb.
If you're going to hug me, I'd prefer it if you take off your boots first. We won't be able to make it to the bed like this.
I'm not allowed to feel this kind of solace, yet Kazusa's body is so soft and warm. It smells so good.
So, let me go. For 10 seconds only?
Kazusa.
Haruki.
I could push her down with all my force and lean my body over her. I could experience the sensations of her body. I could take off her jacket almost as if tearing it off. And I could force my hands through the opening to grope her soft, round breasts.
I'm so happy.
I could put my other hand down her skirt and feel around her thighs, her butt, and her most important place. I could put my finger inside every cavity she has and press it in.
I'm finally of some use to you.
But even then, Kazusa would continue to withdraw her strength and close her eyes with a warm sigh. She'd still try to accept me with her entire being.
I can save you, even if for a little bit.
Even knowing how short-lived the moment will be, Kazusa would still see serving nothing more than a painkiller to me as something happy. I'm sorry.
Well, in a sense, I knew this would happen.
And in the end, I apologized, not for taking her by force, but for not doing so. I know it would bring me relief to make love to you. I know I would feel overwhelmed with happiness, but I made a vow. I swore that I wouldn't lust after Kazusa while we were still in Japan, that we wouldn't cultivate our love until everything here is settled, no matter how pointless it is in the end, even if it brings absolutely no one any happiness. If I break this vow, I can't be certain I won't break further, more important vows in the future. I'll continue living as dishonestly as I always have.
Haruki, you really are stupid. You're obstinate beyond stubborn, and you always argue about every little thing. You're completely beyond saving.
I'm sorry, Kazusa. Every time I lose my way, call me out on it.
It's fine. I'm used to your blue balling at this point. And besides, it's because you're like this that there's a purpose in me hugging you like this.
Kazusa. Despite everything wrong with me, Kazusa accepts me unconditionally.
Hey, Haruki, I love you.
I love you too. We don't seek to improve each other, to correct each other's faults. Without changing, without improving, we affirm and accept each other.
Then, at least cry in my arms. Let me be of some use.
Okay. There is no future. We don't need it. As long as this moment can last forever, everything will be fine. Hey, Kazusa. Let's be happy together. The two of us.
Okay.
Then we will be able to live in happiness forever, all while trampling on everyone else important to us. No, it's precisely because we've had to trample on them that we alone have to find our happiness. The amount of suffering we've caused to so many people would have been for nothing otherwise.
Leave it to me, Haruki. This time, I'll be the one protecting you.
For a while, I listened in drowsiness to Kazusa's whispers. At that moment, I couldn't tell if I was crying or not. February 26th, Tuesday.
Hey, Kazusa? I heard from Miyoko-san. She said you were hospitalized again. Only a precaution. I'm making sure I improve my health enough to be present for your concert. Thanks, I guess. Hey, has that flower pot been washed? Why are you here? I'm checking on my sick mother. What else does it look like I'm doing? Seeing you come with a bouquet of flowers is so out of place, it's actually scary. Did Norikun tell you something? Perhaps he told you that I only had a month to live or something? Are you that weirded out by seeing me not come empty-handed? How little faith could you possibly have in your daughter? Anyway, I'll go get the flowers planted. I'll be right back. Tell one of the nurses to do that for you. I won't have you cutting yourself on the flower thorns. By the way, I heard. Heard what? That you bought back that old ruin. Actually, I never managed to get anyone to buy it. So all I did was get it back from the real estate agency. It still couldn't have been cheap. Yes, it wasn't cheap. And considering the state it's in, I'll have to spend a fortune on renovations too, since someone decided to break the windows. Oh, I wonder what horrible person could have done such a thing. A burglar, maybe? So, didn't you come to give me hell for that? It's not like I have the right to complain about how you spend your own money. It's not like you've made a fortune on me either. That's not what I was trying to say. Are you doing this on purpose? Maybe. Once the renovations are done, I'm going back there. I'm not going back to Vienna anymore. I had actually planned to live there with you. That's amazing. If that actually happened, it would be the greatest thing you've achieved in 8 years. So, you did come here to give me a piece of your mind, huh? Sorry, that slipped out by instinct. I didn't come here to say that. In fact, I came to say the opposite. So, what is it? I'm sorry, Mom. I see. You're going back to Vienna. I understand your reasoning and your feelings, and I know that I should be there for you as family, but I can't be in Japan anymore because I did some unspeakable things. You're going to take him with you, aren't you? Yeah. Congratulations, in a way. It's okay. I don't want you to congratulate me so miserably. I'm fully aware of what I just did. Yet, your entire body is radiating happiness. You're practically floating. The complete opposite of what he was like. Have you seen him recently? Yesterday, he escorted me to the hospital. Mio-chan was gone on a different errand. That explains it. So, you already know everything about my decision. Not even your mother was capable of stealing a man like that in her glory days. It's all my fault. It's all because I'm so weak. Kazusa, I'm always relying on you because I'm weak. Yet, I know you're no longer in any condition to help me, which makes me even more helpless. So, in the end, I made the worst possible decision. The worst possible decision for everyone except for you, that is. And, of course, he is no exception. Yeah. Kazusa, You'll make him and everyone around him unhappy, all because of this childish, romanticized love you have. I'll accept anything that comes my way. Then don't look so happy. If the others were to see you like this, they'd lose their minds. Do I look that happy? I was kidding. I was just annoyed by my daughter, who loves a boy 10 times more than her own mother. I'm sorry. Well, it's fine. You'll make it up for me by giving it your all on the next concert. Yeah, only 3 days now. How are you feeling? I feel great. I could go on stage right now and play. I see. That's good. It'll be my last concert in Japan, and I won't leave behind any regrets. I suppose it'll be the last time I can hear you play in person, too. Mom, I feel a bit tired. Could you give me some time to rest? Okay. I have to go back to the studio anyway. I'll be back. All right then. I'm looking forward to your concert. Hey, Mom. What? Even though we might be separated, even though I'm the daughter who abandoned you and ran away, would you still love Toma Kazusa if she wasn't a pianist anymore? Are you going to stop playing? I'm not thinking of quitting. Then why do you bring that up all of a sudden? Just a theoretical question, and a completely pointless one. See ya. Kazusa.
Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment down below. Setsuna is getting desperate. I'm not sure how actually willing she is to go with Haruki and Toma to Vienna. That feels like a desperate offer that she hasn't thought through. I don't see her doing so well without her support systems. Haruki and Toma, on the other hand, are more solitary, so I could see them thriving out in Vienna.